The honourable member from Calgary Forest Lawn.
That PhD in wackonomics has no clue. This incompetent finance minister, not knowing how to do math.
Oh, come on, don't make him retract that. She's got a PhD in wackonomics. He's not calling her a wacko, he's saying her degree is wackonomics. That's not...
Colleagues, try to encourage as much freedom as possible in terms of the way people express themselves here. I'm going to ask honourable members. To, as much as possible, refrain from using language which is directed at a particular member and is considered insulting to those members. So I'm going to encourage all members, and I've spoken about this in a previous ruling. I'm going to ask the honourable member from Calgary Forest Lawn to start his question again, but to rephrase his question so that he doesn't use that kind of language.
That sounds like liberal wackonomics, and this incompetent finance minister not knowing how to do math ensured 50% of Canadians can't afford basic necessities like food. She'll give cushy contracts to rich liberal insiders while telling the 2 million Canadians she sent into a food bank they can solve their liberal-made misery by cancelling their Disney+. She knows higher deficits lead to higher taxes and lower standards of living. She just doesn't care. Why not call a carbon tax election now so Canadians can fire these economic arsonists?
I'm going to come back to members on this matter, but I'm going to encourage all members.
Nobody pays to see the referee.
I'm going to encourage all members to please keep their counsel when they're not recognized by the chair. The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for your remonstrations, but I have to tell you, speaking for myself, puerile playground insults from the maple syrup mega don't bother me one bit.
Yes!
Should you just call us maple syrup mega?
As I mentioned, order. Order. This is precisely the reason why we should be very mindful of our language, because the things will be said on all sides which is going to be disturbing to the order of the House. I'm going to come back to this matter, and I'm going to ask the Deputy Prime Minister to start her question again without using those words. The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister.
As I said, Mr. Speaker, I can handle it. But what makes me really mad, what I can't handle, is seeing crocodile tears from these Conservatives. The only time they care, notice vulnerable Canadians, is for a partisan photo op. And we know they don't care because they are opposed to a national school food program that is feeding 400,000 Canadian kids. They're opposed to dental care that is helping 1 million. We care about Canadians, they just care about themselves.
The honourable member from Battleford's Lloydminster.
Mr. Speaker, after 9 years of this NDP Liberal government, taxes are up, costs up, crimes up, and you know what? Time is up. This costly NDP Liberal coalition has doubled the cost of housing, and the majority of Canadians are unable to keep up with their grocery needs. Canadians have had enough. But the NDP Liberal coalition only wants to drive up costs by quadrupling their carbon tax. Will the Prime Minister finally call a carbon tax election so Conservatives can offer Canadians some relief?
Yeah.
housing infrastructure in communities.
Mr. Speaker, under the Conservative leader, slogans are up, rhymes are up, and parroting talking points so you get a shiny gold star and caucus seems to be up. I cannot imagine diminishing myself when I have the opportunity to represent my community in the House to cheapen the arguments that we can put forward on the floor of the House of Commons. If they care about helping people, why don't they actually support the policies that help build homes for people who can't afford them? Why don't they actually help advance policies that let families put food on the table, whether that is childcare, a middle-class tax cut, or the Canada Child Benefit? Every time we put measures forward to help Canadians, they vote against it and stand up with this nonsense.
The honourable member from Battleford's Lloydminster.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I can tell you the Canadians that are lined up at food banks aren't buying their pathetic rhetoric. The parliamentary budget officer has already confirmed once again that the carbon tax is costing Canadians more than they receive in rebates. And for families in Saskatchewan, the quadrupled carbon tax is $2,000. Will the Prime Minister finally give Canadians the carbon tax election that they so desperately need?
That's a good one today.
The Honourable Minister for Natural Resources and Energy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me provide a few facts to the honourable member. Fact, the PBO confirmed that the vast majority of Canadians get more money back than they pay. Fact, over 300 economists say carbon pricing is the best way to reduce emissions that is best for the economy. Fact, Alberta Premier Danielle Smith said her family gets more money back with the carbon rebate. Fact, Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe said he looked at all alternatives to the carbon price and they were all too expensive. We are reducing emissions while we are addressing affordability. On that side of the House, they have no plan to address climate change. They are actively denying the reality of climate change. They have no plan for the economy. Shame on you.
This dude said the exact same thing yesterday. I think he grabbed his paper from yesterday and read the exact same thing.
The honourable member for Louis Saint Laurent. Let's speak about facts. Mr. Speaker, young Quebecers listening to us are seeing a future dream of theirs disappear. That dream is of becoming a homeowner. In just 5 years, house prices in Quebec have increased by 74%. That's more than $1,000 more a month for a mortgage. The crisis was fueled, Mr. Speaker, by the Liberal government's compulsive deficits, with the enthusiastic support of the Bloc Québécois. Can the Prime Minister stand, look Canadians in the eye and say why he's made their life worse? The Honourable Minister for Tourism. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to remind my honourable colleague that it's this government that created the first national housing strategy that built thousands of housing units throughout the country. Not only that, Mr. Speaker, we've also created a tax-free savings account. Do you know how many young people have signed up? My brother, for example, who's 33, 700,000 young Canadians throughout the country who will see their dreams come true thanks to this government, Mr. Speaker. The honourable member for Louis Saint Laurent. Mr. Speaker, it's not the Conservatives that are saying this. The Real Estate Brokers Association have noted this. $400,000 average price in Quebec City, $460,000 in Gatineau on average, $590,000 on average in Montreal. Mr. Speaker, beyond the numbers, we see broken dreams and ambitions for young Quebecers under the leadership of this government. I invite the member for Papineau, Prime Minister, to rise today and explain to young Canadians and Quebecers why he's made things worse for them and why they can't even buy a house because of his leadership.